And then you and Yvonne, y'all kicking it off. And then you end up going to jail, losing things, and life get very dark for you, bro. What happened?
Now the money ain't coming in. Now I'm starting to struggle. Now I'm starting to drink a lot. Now Yvonne gets pregnant, and at 8 months in, we lose the baby that's still work. Like, she had to deliver the baby. Then because it's not even alive. Like, I didn't know outside of basketball until I decided I didn't want to go to the NBA. I had no real plans of what I wanted to do. So I said I just want to do something in where I would work with people, work with kids, or something like that.
And then it's so crazy because you and wifey said, you know what? We've been through some dark shit. We was on the verge of breaking up and damn near on the verge of homeless. We turned this shit around with Airbnb. And then y'all doing the greatest thing that a human could ever do is serve our people. You said, listen, I'm gonna go back and serve my community. I'm gonna teach y'all this shit.
Felt like it's really possible for me to go out there and win. I could really do this shit, and it's legal, and it makes sense, and it's fun, and it's easy, bro. When I saw that first 24 hours, and I said, this is it. This is the thing right here. We got over $8,000 in bookings in our first 24 hours.
Y'all, family, what is happening? Listen, today, special. I got my brother in here, and I'm telling you, blood couldn't make us any closer. The Living Proof Podcast, I tell y'all, where testimonial meets transformation. And today I got somebody special to me, dear to me, and I'm sure he gonna help a lot of y'all out, man. So listen, I just wanted y'all to welcome y'all back to the show. Today I got my brother, JD. What's up, baby? How we feeling?
Like I never left.
But how you feeling? I hear you clanging over there.
I'm feeling great.
That's what's up, man. 1 through 10, bro. How you feeling, man, at this stage of your life, man?
Oh, man, I'm like 11, bro.
11?
11, man.
Okay, 10 plus 1.
God is incredible.
What got you over the hump, bro?
Consistency.
Okay.
Consistency, and just know, like just by keeping that faith. You know, it's crazy. I was doing a meet one day, and a girl gets on and she's like, you don't know this, but I used to ride the train with you to work every day. This is when I used to work in ACS in New York. And she said, I see you go from there to do network marketing. I see that condo and commerce stop, and I see you doing, party boarding, and I see you start the Airbnb thing. And she said, at this point, I said, I just had to show up. She said, because I've seen you be so consistent over the years. And that's what it is, man. Just having a strong faith and just being consistent enough for long enough.
That's what I'm talking about. And I seen the journey, man. And before we get into it, I just want to let you know I'm super proud of you, bro. I know as many nights you could have gave up. I know as many days when you like, hey, baby, this ain't gonna work. I gotta pivot. But you stuck with it, man, and I'm loving to see you shining and growing. But we want to take it back to New York, bro.
Do it.
But the Bronx, man. I'm gonna let you know Baltimore got better ball players, bro, than New York. I'm gonna keep it a stat. Before we get into it, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
You go down, you don't even believe that.
You had to come down here to play, so we gonna get it all of it, bro.
That's the college. You already know the street boys in New York is insane.
Yeah, they got some ballers, bro.
You gotta actually call with me. Damon always say he'll come too, but when I go as a Dyke, man, we gotta take a day or two and just go to the game.
I feel like y'all got the cameras and the videos, bro, but the real ballers, they from the 410, bro.
They had like 2. How you say 2? Yeah, they got like 2.
Oh, check this out. I know you've been watching this episode, and listen, I know it's been going crazy, right? But I had to stop the episode real quick because I'm here to tell you, like, I don't know if you see me in a different space, but I don't know if you really know that I'm the #1 person in America that's teaching people how to take their vehicle and go make money. Like, the first thing I do is I teach you how to get on delivery apps. That way you have money on your phone. The second thing I do is I teach you how to get local delivery contracts right in your city, right in your county, right in your state. And then the third thing I teach you how to do is go ahead and subcontract. So now you can go ahead and get national contracts, sub them out, not physically doing the work. So I'm telling you right now, I got a link below. I'm having a class this week. It will be 100% free because you are watching this. I need you to go check it out. It is right below www.couriermasterclass.com. Listen, I need you to go ahead and register because I'm telling you right now, my classes always fill up and I got a free spot just for you. So go ahead to www.couriermasterclass.com. I see you in class. Let's get it. I hear that, bro. So growing up in the Bronx, man, how was that, bro?
Rough, bro. Rough. I started off in a 1-bedroom apartment in the Soundview section of the Bronx. And at the time, I think my mom had like 6 of us, 6 kids. bedroom apartment. We had
6 of y'all in that one bedroom. This starting to sound familiar already.
you know, my mom and dad, they had the room, and then we had these at one point we had cots just laid across the living room and one bunk bed. And that's how I started. That's how I started my life off. And I remember at the age of 11, we moved over to the projects over on Washington Avenue. And I remember walking into that apartment the first time and looking at the window, felt like we made it because it was 4 bedrooms. But that was just the start. I had no idea what the projects was like. You grew up in those projects. Those projects are rough. So I don't know if anybody listening never heard of Washington and West Avenue. It's literally divided by a train track and it got beat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one set I know got beat for 169. This side got beat for that side. It's tough. It's real tough. Real rough neighborhood.
That's wild. So mom and dad was together growing up.
Yeah. They was together all the way up until I went to college.
How was that relationship?
It was good.
From your eyes, your point of view, that you seen they got along and all that?
Oh, yeah. They were very supportive. My father was like, he was like the youngster.
Okay.
My mother was the mature one. My father, he would play video games with us. I mean, my father was like a friend. You get what I'm saying? Like we would get Monopoly and duct tape the Monopoly board.
Okay.
And make sure we kept it nice, and we would play Sega Genesis and battle with each other. My father, got us into sports. And then my mother was always the one that kind of kept everything together. She was at school at the time when they was together there. Then I remember her getting a job. And it was good, man. A nice little power couple. I was actually shocked when I found they split up. I didn't know because I was like I said, this is like me heading off to college. Or to college they broke up, but I had no idea, to be able to.
Right.
I just kind of found out. I heard my mom screaming on the phone.
So you used to play ball all your life, or you kind of figured it out later? I know you went to college for basketball.
Yeah, so I started playing football, actually.
Okay.
I started playing football.
What position do you play, bro?
I played tight end.
I know you lying. Bro, you played the left tackle. It's always the tackle that's trying to say I played tight end.
I played tight end, and they created all the punter. I was a punter. And I did that. I played for the Boys and Girls Club, Kids Day Boys and Girls Club. And one day, after football practice, we swung to the basketball court outside, me and my big brother. And I was just, dribbling. This ain't like street ball. It's New York. You don't want mixtape era. And I'm over there dribbling, and the coach walked out because they was heading to a game. He's like, "You play basketball?"
What age is this?
This is 11. 11 years old. That's when I started playing. So I played street, played in the streets.
Okay.
And I've grown up, we play old crates and stuff, but I never played any organized ball.
Okay.
This time when he's looking at me, I'm 11 years old. I remember that because we had just moved over to the projects, and I was in the court and I was just playing with him. He's like, "You want to play?" And I was like, "Yes." So I asked my mom, and then literally a week later, I'm playing in my first game at the age of 11. I have no idea. He's like, "Go to the elbow." I didn't know the elbow, but I didn't know nothing. I just know playing the hood. That's it. So I really started playing organized ball. I started the concept at 11 years old, and then I didn't take it serious.
Right.
I didn't take it serious. I even went to college. I went to my first year in high school. I played there. I was a shooter, so I would play at the end of the games, wherever. Then my sophomore year, I did a little better. Then at the end of my sophomore year, I started to take it seriously, and then I ended up getting a Division I scholarship.
You won.
Yeah.
How was that for you, bro? I know you're coming from the ghetto. I don't know how people look at this. I don't know where you're from, but when you get a scholarship and your parents ain't got to pay from the ghetto, you hit the lottery. Mama listen, my baby out of here.
No, it was a big lottery. It was scary, bro. It was real scary because, everything happened. I would just be God's alignment. So my junior year, I murdered, bro. I was killer. I was going crazy. So then I got invited to the preseason. I forgot it was all state games or all city games, whatever it was on my senior year, and I got started in a lot of schools looking at me, a lot of offers on the table, and then about 8 or 9 games in, I ended up breaking my arm. Right, so football player, we played. He's on the basketball team, but he jumped my own snap, so I had to get metal screws in place on both sides. And I went from having all these D1 calls. I actually had a visit coming up with a Division I school that next week, and literally all calls stopped. And that's when I started to realize that
Dang, they did you like that?
yeah, every call stopped. So at this point, all the D2s started hitting me up crazy, like really going after me. D3s, started trying to get me to go to their schools. And I get a call one day from, in class, and they like come down to the office, and then there's a coach there. He's like, hey, you ever heard of UMBC? I'm like, no. He's like, your guy Pete Mulligan, which is crazy because he called it 2 days ago. He said, your guy Pete Mulligan. Pete Mulligan went to one of the best schools in New York, Catholic schools, St. Raymond's. They were like killing with the basketball at the time. He was like Mr. Basketball in New York City. And when he said that, he was over there. I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up taking a visit to that school. But the only reason that coach, the coach from UMBC, even knew of me is because not my coach. It was a coach down the street at another school that they was like, man, there's a really good shooter down. He just was editor for the year. And he told him about me. And off the strength of that, he came to Oakland and scholarship.
Wow.
So like, I almost had no, like, and then like a week later, some of the schools started calling me back. It was there and I signed.
That's wild, bro. I feel like, and that's crazy because you grew up in an era where your coach had to push you.
Yep.
Like these kids don't realize, like, them highlight tapes, mixtapes on social media, Twitter, that wasn't out. Your coach had to know somebody. Hey, listen, my player, I got one. I got to.
We used to steal our letters. It's just crazy. It's like to even look back at it, it's so horrible, bro. We would like go down to the gym when our coach was there. We would go. He was having this box with all of our letters. He wouldn't even give us our letters. We would have to steal our letters. So a lot of schools, I found out it was recruiting me, like, because I was just going to take the letters. I even found out schools were recruiting me after I went to my school. I used to work out here in New York, and I came back. I wasn't working out with my boy that I went to high school with. I was working out St. Francis, right, the Division I school in the Northeast Conference. And then my boy was like, "Hey, this is Jerrell Dinkins," and he's like, "Oh, Jerrell, y'all know him?" He said, "Yeah, we tried to get you to come here." I said, "You said, yeah, your coach said you didn't want to stay home, but you want to go away, so you stopped."
Your coach never had a conversation with you, nothing.
Yeah, never knew. I had no idea they was recruiting me. And at the time, everybody went to go to St. Francis for one reason, because it was Division I school, but because they didn't have official campus, they was giving everybody $1,200 a month stipends. Like, so you could stay. It was like a high school. It's weird to explain, but you could stay there, but you would get like $1,200 a month. So a lot of kids in the city like, oh, if I had no idea, it was cool. And then I found out a few other schools that recruited me.
Dang, bro. What was the dream school?
Crazy or not, so I wanted to go to Pitt when they first had sent me a letter. I wanted to go to Pitt, but then once I saw Fairfield University in Connecticut in a MAC conference, I really wanted to go there. It was like right there, and I knew that they were like very interested in me, like very interested. So once like I got the interest and I started looking at the school, I said, I think I want to go to Fairfield. But every school stopped calling me, and I was supposed to go to Quinnipiac the day I heard that weekend I was coming up. I was supposed to go to Quinnipiac for a visit. They stopped calling me. Everybody stopped calling me.
Dang, they did you dirty, bro. Did you fall into a depression or anything, or you was just on the ground like,
Nah.
I know somebody won't call me?
No, bro. You know what's crazy? I've always been like, I've never been the person that's like I just keep going. You know what I'm saying? I've never, like, this has always been me. I'm like, it was hurt to see like the business side of that at a young age. But I'm thinking like, man, I'm a kid, but once I saw that, I realized that this is also a business too. College is a business, because sometimes they get a pro, they make pros business. When I realized, I said, nah, this is business, but I do solid workout, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know it was going to come in the form of a D1. I already went, so my next plan was to just walk on to school, because I knew I had the talent. Like, I knew I could play. So I was like, you know what? I was going to walk onto the school. So I actually had planned before, I was getting all the D2 offers, but I had planned to go to Marist. Like, I was kind of like looking at school. So I'm going to go to Marist. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to walk on to that, to whoop on it. And, hopefully they'll offer me a scholarship. So that was my plan. And then, like I said, got that call down to the office and said, man, I got offered a scholarship at UMBC, and I took it. And then when I came back, my coach called me back down to the office. Is like, hey, Fairfield called. I said, I just signed with UMBC. Yeah, bro, true story. And you know what's crazy?
You sound like, as soon as somebody came back around, you sound like, listen, I ain't messing around.
I could. What else to do? But the crazy thing is, I didn't even want to sign. This is my dad. Rest in peace to my pop. My pop's funny as shit, bro. So we the coach was like, hey, you can take the package home, think it over, or whatever the case is, or you can sign here. So we're in front of the dorm at UMBC, and my father's talking to the head coach. I'm over here with the assistant coach. And we just talking. I was like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and I'll take it home and, read it over the cases. And then the head coach walks in like, congratulations. Your dad just told me you signed with us today. So
He made the decision for you.
technically, he made the decision. But I was definitely going to sign there, but I had no intentions of signing at the school. And if I didn't sign at the school, I would have went home. And literally that when I went to school, that's when they called me about Fairfield, which is school I wanted to go to. But sometimes I would look back and say, damn, I should have went to that school. But I'm like, then all this stuff I may have not had.
Right. Speaking of it, man, going to UMBC, you see by the name of guy Rashad Bilal playing alongside you. What position you played and what position did he play?
We played the same position.
Oh, for real? So y'all was battling for a spot.
So when he came in, I was having a lot of problems with the coaches. Rashad was a bull. Like, he was a pit bull. A lot of people don't know that he played ball. For real.
Okay.
So he came in, he got a starting spot right at the gate over me. I was on the bench. I was going to the bench. And Rashad was going crazy that first year. And Rashad was assigned to me. That's how we got real close. So I actually told Rashad about setting goals, which is crazy. Yeah, I was teaching him about setting goal setting and all that stuff. So that we were roommates.
So you taught him how to earn your leisure, huh? I just said, he shot it.
Sharp. Well, he's always been sharp. But he was always ahead of his time. He was the one that we over there trying to play video games. He's sitting there with his chancletas and no socks, reading the newspaper.
Oh, from real?
He always is like that. He always like that. But
wow,
yeah, shout out to Shotty, man. We got a lot of funny ass stories in them too. We had a good time.
What's one, bro? What's one funny ass story, bro?
Man, so I'll give you two because it was the same time. So we was playing in Cali, and Shaw he's always been like a rebel. So like when you playing ball, you gotta stay in. You got curfew. You gotta stay in the hotel. Rashad took the upon himself. He said, "We in Cali. I'm going to the zoo," and he left a hotel. And when my coach found out about that, bro, we got in so much trouble. But like at the time, you don't leave. Like, you're a basketball player, bro. You don't leave and just go somewhere by yourself.
Right.
So my coach is heated. But on that same exact trip, we roommates. And Shotty, my fault. I'm put Shotty. We were roommates.
Nah, let him out. Nah, bro. You on the big stage now. Coach ain't here no more.
He in the shower.
Yeah.
Yo, all I hear is I'm like, yo. You all right? My boy fell at the shower. We got a lot of funny stories in that year, but he's just smart. He was smart even after school, bro. I don't know if you remember this. We was going back to like a homecoming back out here, to like one of these homecomings out here. I think it was like Howard, one of them. And I get pulled over in Jersey, driving. And of course, the trooper goes to the car. And of course, Rashad opens the door, put his foot out. The cop. Hey, close the door. He's like, what? I can't put my foot up. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like that's Rashad. He's always been like that. He's always like that. I've been throwing so many stories about. And I got 4 tickets that day. 4 tickets, bro.
He owe you some money.
4 tickets, bro. Yeah. Yeah, so man, Shy, there's some good people, man. Met a lot of good people at UMBC. I learned a lot, man. I learned that skill. Actually, when I look back on it, I would say that, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect it looking back on it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I think it was Pastor, probably was Pastor Mike Jr. that said, no, it was actually Pastor Darius Dinkins. He said, life is lived forward and understood backwards. So when I was going through that phase, I was just like, damn, I wish I went to this school, I wish I went to that. But now when I go and I look back, I'm like, man, things have to
say that again, because I'm gonna steal that. And Pastor, don't hold me to it. I gotta steal that. Say it again.
Say life is lived forward, understood backwards.
I like that.
And I always had, and when I heard him say it, it made so much sense because I had watched Steve Jobs, the Stanford commencement. It's like a 15-minute talk. And in that talk, he said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect it looking back on it. So it's the same kind of concept. It's like, a lot of times we're going through things, we don't really understand why we're going through it because we're actually going through it. But in order to understand why you have to go through that, you have to actually get through it. All right. And when you get through it, you can look back on it and say, so now I see why I had to go through that. So life is lived forward, but understood backwards.
You ever thought you was going to the league, the NBA?
Yeah,
That was your goal dream.
absolutely.
I'm gonna go to the league, bro. I'm gonna get my family out of these projects.
Until I went to college. I went to college, I didn't know what was going on. Even though
It was over with, bro.
my first 2 years, because it was like my first year, I at the end of the season, I got a good playing because both our point guards got hurt. I'm from New York, so I know how to dribble. Right, so I'm tall, but I know how to handle the ball. So they had to be.
You like 6'5", bro. You was bringing the ball up.
I was the one. Like one. The last, I think it was like the last 9 games of the season, I ran the one.
Oh yeah.
Because I would the other guy who would have ran from Jersey. He was a little shaky. He was a lefty, but he was a little shaky with his handle. So they put me at the one, and I did good, bro. I did good. Like my last game, I scored 11 points the last game. I had a dunk.
Okay.
Bro, I had a dunk. I had a bunch of assists. I'm like, yo, I'm going into sophomore season. Like, this is about to be good. Bench me the whole sophomore season, whole sophomore season. So me and my boy Bobby, we just worked out the whole year. Like, this is like this is a JD. Like, we was working out every day, bro. What was it that we was going to the weight room every day? We didn't care. Practice, no practice, nothing to weight room every day. And then so that my sophomore year I didn't play. And then by my junior year, I started really like taking off.
Okay.
College year.
Start taking off, and then senior year, you was like, listen, I ain't going to the league. It started to shift. What did you?
So because my senior year, I played every game, the entire game. And it's like I started off in 3, but there was a 4 when I moved over to the 4, when a 5 when I moved over to the 5. And I was just so beat up. I had this picture of me dunking. I literally have knee braces on both. I have ankle braces. I have I think I have like a arm brace. If people didn't know, I have like a whole back brace on. I was so beat up. I was like, yo, when I graduated college, I didn't touch a basketball for a year and a half. And then I went and started playing street football out there. But I didn't touch a basketball for a year and a half. I was tired of playing ball.
Got you. So then when the shift, like, what are you thinking about at this point? Because it was like, yo, I got this dream, and now this dream don't seem so dreamy.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to take it there. Now what? What do we do now?
I didn't know. I just knew I love people.
Okay.
I like people, so I just wanted to do something to work with people. I actually thought I would be like a guidance counselor or something.
Okay.
So when I knew I was going to go play ball, I started doing interviews at like different schools out here in Maryland, Catonsville.
Okay.
Some what they called what's it like, juvenile detention centers for in Philly. I was just looking for a job like that, and that's it. I just wanted to work with people. I was working at the YMCA one summer, so I went back and I spoke to the lady who was going to hire me, and she ended up hiring me for a job in New York City. So I just went back and worked at the YMCA because I had no real, like, I didn't know outside of basketball until I decided I didn't want to go to the NBA. I had no real plans of what I wanted to do, as far as like, a career outside of, after degree. I just had to like people. So I said, I just want to do something where I would work with people, work with kids, or something like that.
So you was just in limbo, like, I'm trying to figure it out, grinding, probably hanging out with the wrong crew.
Yep.
Back with the wrong crew again.
As soon as I went back.
As soon as you went back.
Because growing up, I was the kid that didn't do nothing, bro. I didn't go to no parties. I didn't even want to go to prom. It was only basketball.
Right.
Like when I started playing, like from 11 till the time of college, no parties, none of that. All the kid parties, house, but I never did any of that, bro. I just played ball.
Right.
So I feel like when I graduated college, I'm like,
you was outside.
I came home. Yeah, I was outside. Bro. I was, I started getting, at the time, there was teams in New York. Teams were real big in New York City. So everybody had their crew that they ran with, right? So it was like this team and that team. So I had my crew. We was like the fly dudes. We was going out there, messing around with all the girls, going hang around the girl groups, throwing cookouts on the block. We was a popping group, you know what I'm saying? So we was partying. That's what I was doing, bro. That's when I started like really partying, drinking a lot. And that shit spiraled, like drinking, partying, bro, just stupid. Honestly, it's stupidity. Like with a college degree out here, like acting like a teenager, to be honest.
Oh yeah? Dang, bro. So it was just all working out, and then you realize, like, bro, I'm in this thing where I'm hanging out with my boys, partying and drinking, messing with these women.
Yeah. And just a lot.
And then what happened, bro? I mean, you ended up having a child.
Yeah, that was a little bit further down.
That was a little bit further.
Got hanging up through.
Oh, you had that. You was getting a couple Plan Bs first, huh? You was running the CVS, spending that 60.
I was about protection, but that's when I always had love. I always had chains and all stuff, and I remember starting to go to these cookouts, and we get out in neighborhoods, and they would have people be chasing us. we would get into brawls. One time getting a shotgun pointed to my head, trying to get up to somebody trying to rob me. So many times, yeah, we had a big old brawl, you know, after a cookout, and one of my guys got killed, another 2 of them got shot. You know, it was just like that over again, like it was happening. And at one point I just got like, yo, bro, what the hell am I doing, bro? Like this is not even me. I've never been that type of person. I just was like, those are my guys, you know what I'm saying? But I've never been no gangster. Let me go kill somebody, you know. Like, I've always been a dude when I would come home from college, or when I first came from college, I could go in any neighborhood, bro. Chains on, like, yo, what up, what up, what up? They just call me Believer. What up, Believer? What up, Believer? That was my basketball name. Okay. So I had never had problems at all. So I started having these problems. I'm like, yeah, bro, this ain't, I don't know what I'm doing, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? They ain't not chained or my friend. Like, we're still friends to these days, all the guys. You know
But you keep them at a distance, don't you?
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, I've been there before, right?
It's not even like, it don't even be about them. It just be like when people, like, you know, like when people are not designed to go where you don't, you gotta realize that something that's hard for people. You think, oh no, that's my boy, that's my man. Yeah, just because y'all got a good relationship don't mean that person ain't distracting you, or that those people ain't distracting you. And I started to realize, like, I was being distracted from my ultimate goal. And at that point, I said, I gotta figure something out. Saying I didn't know what it was. I'm gonna figure something out. And it's crazy that when I started like professing that I wanted something new, I never really shared this, bro. I called one of my friends. I ain't gonna say his name, but I called one of my friends because at this point I'm working at ACS. I work with abuse and neglect children. I'm working at the YMCA. I'm not making enough money, bro. I'm broke. And I called my friend and we met up in Washington Heights. And I'm like, yo, how does drug shit work, bro? Like, what am I put in? What I get back? I'm like, I need to figure it out. I got to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'll put my money up, but I just need to know like what I'm gonna get back. I don't understand it, but I just needed something.
You need to flip something,
bro.
Okay.
And it's crazy that not even a week later, one of my other guys called me and they invited me to a meeting. And that's not learning about network marketing. I feel like that was like intervention from God. Like, you can't, because literally it was less than not even a week after I had the meeting with my God, because that's it. I got to figure something out. But this working job shit, I'm not making enough money. I'm struggling. I'm like, I got a degree. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm struggling. I'm like, this ain't making sense. I got to start figuring something out. And then that's when, you know, my guy invited me to network marketing presentation. I didn't know there was at the time. And then I also started doing party promoting too at the same job.
Party promote. Dang. So network marketing. So now you're learning the skill of selling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Network marketing was a different beast, but that was the first time like people look bad on that, look down and say things like it's a pyramid scheme, it's this or that. But for me, it was great, bro.
What were you selling? What were you in? Because I was Travel Club.
World Ventures stuff. You should be here.
I remember y'all.
Yeah,
I remember those commercials, bro.
Yeah, we used to take
the drain. They used to stretch out the whole.
Yeah. We used to take we used to have that sign placed when I'm in the front of the project. I'm like, you should be here. Why? What should you be the project, bro? But yeah, bro, that it was actually a really good company, and it was traveling, so it was a sexy product, you know, like Cloud Network Marketing. They saw everything, coffee, all kind of stuff, but travel was always sexy, right? And so. We had a lot of fun. We created a good culture around it. We was all getting silver BMWs. And this is when I started getting introduced to like personal development. You know, I never read books before that.
Right.
And now I'm starting to read books. Now I'm starting to learn about you know, audios. And I'm going to trainings and I'm learning about mentorship and having mentors. And I'm getting around wealthy people. And I'm like, wow, oh shoot. That was the first time that I saw that you could really have a good life without having to work a job. Like that's when I got exposed to that. And I was like, okay, there's something that you can do outside of basketball, outside of being in the streets, outside of being an artist. Oh, there's something else? I went all in. That's the thing about me. Anybody will know me, anything I've ever done, I've always been all in.
All in.
I was all in on network marketing.
Because you was exposed to it. You seen somebody driving what you wanted to drive. You seen somebody probably living where you wanted to live.
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy because I look back and I'm hearing your story. A lot of people miss that mark, right? You were about to start flipping, start getting into an environment, selling drugs where you had no idea about. You get the call, God, like, let me redirect him because I done let him suffer for so long that now he ready to make a move. And God probably had to bring you through that. all right, cool, he's comfortable, but I had to make you suffer for so long that it's like, if I bring something in front of your face, you ready to make a move now. You ready to go now. So now you in the network marketing thing, making money, but then you're saying you promoting at night.
Yeah, doing party one night. So at this point,
So you doing the presentations with the flag hung over. Cause you ain't just promoting, you in the party drinking too.
bro, I'm the one who started in New York. We used to do these. So they used to do something called travel party. So it used to be like a living room, and you invite all your friends to your living room.
Okay.
And because I was throwing parties, I'm like, hey, like I got these lounges that I throw parties in. How about we have the beer? We do it. We do there that y'all can stay over. So I'm in my head, I'm double dipping. I'm like, we gonna introduce people to network marketing, and I'm gonna let them stay. Now my party is jumping.
Right.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I started doing all of these events inside these lounges, and started doing up. But something just hit me when you said about I was about to go do something. I was about to flip something, and then it hit me. I'm trying to think of who said this, but it said delays. Delays are not denials; they are just divine speed bumps. Delays are not denials; they're just divine speed bumps. And I think what it is, like sometimes we like fuck, it ain't happening fast enough. It's like, yeah, you're not being denied. It's like it's like a divine speed bump. So like you said, like when it came to the point where God was like, oh, hey, let me show you something now, I was ready for it. Right. But like I said, and it goes back to what you was talking about. It's like now when I look back, I can start connecting all these dots. Like, damn, that's why I had to go through that. That's why I had to, if I hadn't done that, maybe when network marketing came, I would have never ever stepped into it. And I got to start network marketing. I'm doing network marketing. I'm still working 2 jobs. I'm working social work. I'm working at the YMCA.
Okay.
And I'm throwing parties. So like,
So you out here like a Jamaican.
at the same time, bro. I
Okay.
would go on the Friday. The worst feeling ever. And I knew. First of all, I don't know why they didn't fire me, but I would throw a party on like Friday night. By the time we collect the money, it's like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I have to teach these little kids, like 6-year-olds, at 9 a.m. at the YMCA. So sometimes I will leave the club and just go to the staff lounge and just go to sleep for like 2 hours rather than get up. And I will be in there, my eyes red and all that, and
Reeking the liquor, you probably coming out your pores.
I know they had to, bro. This time I would go straight there. So I was like, now I look like they should fire me for sure, bro. It was many times where that's all life, bro. If I look at pictures, like my pictures, I had like heavy bags on my eyes. I look so old. I look so old back then, bro.
But this is when life started to shift. You had some money in your pocket then. So now you got some money. Like how kind of? Like what's kind of, bro? What's the number?
Kind of like
What you think you was pulling in a year?
So I know in network marketing, so like after I did network marketing for about 3 years, I started pulling like close to like 90,000 a year.
Okay.
So at that time, that's big because like, I was one of the jobs that if I get a job to pay me $100,000, now I'm making $90,000 a year without working any jobs. And then, that's when after I left my job. So, just having that kind of money. But at the time when I was still working, I was bringing in like $60,000 from my job.
Okay.
I was bringing in $50,000 from network marketing. And then I was bringing in the extra, a few $100 a week with party promoting. Like party promoting was like, it looked a lot better than it was. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time you split the money and then you take it, now you go in there every night and then you gotta buy a new shirt. And probably was in jeans. Right. Gotta get new shirts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm buying new shirts every day. And then you get there now, you get your free cup bottle, but now you gotta get another bottle. So now you're like, all right, let's just get one more.
Dang, bro, you spending the goddamn profit.
Yeah, for sure. Every night.
Enjoying yourself.
Yeah, looking good, right?
He's trying to bring them to your section. I got him. Come here. I got
Bro,
and then messing your money up.
It's the worst, bro. The worst thing ever. That's why I was like, I could never do shit like that again. Never do something like that, bro. Like I said, we would throw parties, we would get some money, and then we would just spend it back.
Wow.
And we would be power partying like 5 days a week.
Dang, this is how you had your daughter. Or this is still after the fact.
Yeah, I had my daughter like doing like one of that, like because I was like in that team, like lit. We going to these cookouts. We mess with the girls and the teens.
Okay.
Their teams, you know what I'm saying? So that I was in a relationship with somebody, the mother of my daughter. And
I was in a relationship. Yeah, so it wasn't no wham bam, thank you, man.
No.
Okay.
We got together. But that happened as we broke up. She got pregnant. Allegedly. All right, so
I know what that was. I see what that was. That was that makeup sex. That was that argument when y'all had and you was like, yeah, I'm gonna tear ass
like,
up.
I think, no. She's like,
How you have a baby when y'all on the way of breaking up, bro? It don't even sound right.
nah, she thought that was gonna keep us together, and it did for a while.
So what she do? What was different this time?
Huh? No. You sprayed.
She's brazen.
That's it.
You know what she was doing, bro.
No, I didn't.
I was arguing and you was like, listen, you keep playing with me.
I'm telling you, bro. That's no. When I tell you no intention, no, like I'm not even being funny, bro. No intentions. Though. Like I thought she was lying.
So now she just popped up like we on the verge of breaking up. We broke up, and she's saying, "JD, I got something to tell you."
She stopped taking the birth control. But she thought it was a way that we would stay together. But like I said, we ended up getting back together for a while.
So when she announced it, y'all end up getting back together.
Not immediately.
Okay.
It took a little while, which is crazy.
Before the baby came, or
yeah, like before our baby came, I was like, I don't know, and then as it get closer, we started to feel like, yeah, I'm really about to have a daughter. You know what? I want my daughter to be, great like this. So, it's crazy. Like we had got back together for a little bit, but it wasn't. I was so far on, and that's when actually I met my wife too. Like during that time I met her, but we never like I met her at the club, and we never linked up. And then we linked up. They was like, oh, let's make sure we see each other. I didn't see her again until like 6 months later, to where me and the Mona shall actually work up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Make sure we see each other. So that seed was planted, and then 6 months later.
Yeah.
How does happen?
Who you are?
Yeah, how does happen? 6 months later.
Club.
You met at the club.
I'm at the club.
Exchanged numbers.
Kind of.
JD talked to
She
me.
sought after me, bro.
She sought after you.
And then she ain't heard it back herself up, so I'm telling her.
So talk your shit, my nigga.
Bro, let me tell you something. First of all,
she not here. I need to hear.
we went to the club. It's the true story. It's that she tried to make it sound like it ain't what it was. I know it was. So I'm in the club, and I'm sitting on the couch and my back, and then she come in. She sitting like we sitting literally back to back. Like she behind me. I'm on this section. She in this section with all the boys. And DJ Salt was DJing. He used to have this thing where he used to have people call stage and dance or whatever. And I made like a little comment. She laughed, and I looked over and we started talking. Oh man, she pretty. So we started talking with her cases, and we talking down like constant like, all right, yo, let me get your Instagram. So she long story short is, when I go to look at she followed me already. I looked and I said, oh, you already know who I was. She was like, oh no, I didn't. So her story is that she was trying to go. I was going to Venice. I was partying. I was going to a bus ride to Donny Park. She said that her friend told her. That's why she ended up following. I said, nah, dude came here. We'd already following. You sat right behind me because you knew what you wanted. You know, but I mean, y'all could say y'all could figure out y'all stuff. But long story short is after that day, right? We started after that day. We we were just flirting on Instagram. At this point, like I'm
Heart
with
heart emoji, JD, huh?
Yeah, heart emoji. You know what I'm saying? Every emoji you could think of. Every concept, eggplant, everything.
Freaky boy JD. Freaky boy JD. Eggplant with the water. You know what that means.
Yeah, so
okay.
Whatever. Long story short is we like 6 months later, we ended up going on a date.
Okay.
I took on a little real cheap date.
Cheap?
Yeah, super cheap. $3 margaritas.
Okay. Yeah, she was rocking with it though.
Called Mother Burger. I took a $3 margaritas, and that's the first time we met. And then as we leave her, and she going to the train, I'm going to my train, right? She looked back, she's like, don't let it be another 6 months. And then it was a whole nother 6 months.
Why you do that, bro? You did
it was that because I was like in and out with.
Oh, he was in and out with shorty.
Yeah, with my baby moms. I was having so that's kind of weird, so like you meet somebody like I'm having a daughter. So after I had my daughter, and and then we like officially broke up. Then like, a few months later, Yvonne's birthday was coming, and then still I didn't really have no intention. I'm like, I'm fresh out in my head. I'm like, I'm about to start dating or something. So she invited me to her birthday party, and I went to her birthday party, and then after that, like, then once we hung out, one more time was over. She never was locked down. Yeah, locked in.
I ain't trying to be locked down.
I wasn't at the time, but she did a lot. she made sure her presence was on.
That's what's
for
up.
sure, yeah.
So you were still making about $100,000 a year when you met her.
Yeah, like 90,000. That's
About
at
90.
that point when I met her, I had stopped doing party rolling. Like I stopped doing parties.
Okay.
I was not working a job anymore. I was just doing solely network marketing. Like I was fully committed to network marketing. And in fact, I celebrated the day I retired, which is June 6th of 2014. Like she's the one who brought me the cake. Was like, congratulations. I was like, no stuff. So yeah. So she threw me a retirement party. Right. That's what we used to call them. We quit our jobs. What we used to call. We were saying we retired.
Now, how was that having a newborn, and then you probably got the mother of your daughter. She probably like, I want to make this work. Like, how was that? Was that turmoil? Or was that?
It was horrible.
Oh yeah.
It was horrible, but for me and my personality, Yvonne was very nervous because she didn't want to date nobody, especially a child.
Yeah, that's a real thing. A lot of women be like, nah, you just had a child. You got young children. Like, what are you doing? It's like,
and the mother of my child is not she's not the most sensible person, bro. Like,
she off the chain.
Yeah, she off the chain.
Okay.
She, you know what I'm saying? They, firing up out the mouth type shit. Like, oh no, you can't do this, whatever. So it was hard,
So you need like them spicy.
I couldn't see my daughter for a while. It was like, oh, you can't bring the girl around, never. But the thing about me is I'm going like,
Be stern. You want to set it down.
Like, listen, this is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, this is the girl I'm dating. Like, at the end of the day, so eventually I had them. They end up meeting and having a conversation outside and talking. It still was like up and down. But I told Yvonne, I said, listen, you will never have to worry about none of that drama shit. Man. You ain't gotta worry about that. Like, this is what it is. I gotta deal with that, but I'm gonna set the boundaries and
Now, because I think a lot of men, we need help with this, because did you set them down? Or did they come together? Or you was like, no, you need to talk with it. We got to figure this shit out, because what we doing ain't conducive to nobody.
No, that's for me. It was always about the end goal. And at the end of the day, man, I'm with my kids, bro. Like, that's the thing that, for me, my kids is the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I'm like, listen, I gotta make this work for my daughter. Yvonne never had the problem.
Right.
So even though Yvonne, she didn't care to meet with the mother of her child, but she did it because of me. You know what I'm saying? She did it because she did it
out of respect to you, yeah. But
and then they had that conversation. And it was okay, but it still wasn't. It was still a little friction or whatever cases. Just exchange of word. So it took a while, bro. It took a while to where we finally got to a place like now we have a great relationship. Like Yvonne, they'll call, they'll text each other, whatever cases.
Yeah, it takes some time, goddamn. I know
it take a lot of time
for sure.
But,
feelings gotta get unraveled. This shit, whatever you think of her, whatever, that shit's crazy. It's a lot of men dealing with that. That's why I wanted you to kind of help out some men to be like, listen, like, what boundaries, what place, like, was there any special sauce that you did, or was it just time? Like, all right, we over this shit. We grown. We getting older.
Yeah, exactly.
He not coming back to me.
Yeah, I don't think it was more that, 'cause I think she still wanted that to happen, like, come back. But it's like, if you move out of a relationship into another relationship, it's like, I think when you have moved on, you got to just make it known, like, all right, well, here's the separation. Like, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I've always been that type. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and kind of like string it along with her piss. I'm like, no, like, this is the woman in my life. And you got to respect it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure something out. Like, and at the end of the day, we could be adults and figure out for the kids, like, we're going to keep battling. But, like, I'm not going to change. Like, no matter what you do to me, I'm not going to change it. And these are the things, these are the boundaries. These are the things you can do. These are things you can't do. Right? If you ask me something, yeah, I'm going to consult with my woman. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to have my daughter, yes, I want to see my daughter, but I'm not going to pretend like my girl ain't going to be around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm letting you know, I'm going to always be respectful. I'm not going to do not going to, like, if I was sleeping in the bed with my girl, at the time, and have my daughter in the room, I'm always going to make sure everything's respectful, out of respect for you as the mother. But this is my woman. You know what I'm saying? My woman, a woman. So, and then it was just teaching, like, listen, that don't mean we got to be enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going down against you. I said, we got kids, and I would rather grow to become your friend, which we ended up doing. It took a while.
How many years you think?
It took a good like 3 or 4 years to really get to the point where it was like, it took like a good 3 or 4 years to get to a point where it was like, now she started like, okay, I get it. I still don't think she accepted it.
Right.
But then eventually she, she moved on and she started her own family, outside of me, and she had another kid. But I think it was like a solid 3 or 4 years. Like the first 3 or 4 years is a real bad one. Then it got a little better, and then it became like, I guess when she saw like, man, like, not that he's serious, but I've been consistent from the first day. When I got with Yvonne, and I've been consistent with what I say, and I'll be consistent with my boundaries. Like, you can't come to me for certain things. And at the end, we're not together. Don't expect me, like, if it comes to my child, I'm gonna pay for whatever. But outside of that, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And then I start to set up like friendships, having those conversations of like, listen, at some point it was like, we only can talk in relation to my daughter, you know what I'm saying, until you respect those boundaries. And then once we start to come, to a point where it's like, all right, we both respect each other. Even with her when she got with her boyfriend, we was cool as hell. I used to go, hey, I appreciate you loving my daughter. I used to go meet her. He used to bring my daughter downstairs for me to go take her to school. I used to chill, whatever. Unfortunately, he passed. That was a hard time too. And then she eventually moved on and got a fiance. So we quit him too. But that's just adults. You know what I'm saying? But I know women or men are different. But at the end of the day, you gotta move forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, do not about like her.
Like, you was in the room, man. You helping out a lot of people with that, bro. Because people don't understand that, man. And the biggest thing I be saying is when men be going back and creeping, bro. Going back to, and then they wonder why she still. You got us from the beginning. Hey, this is what it is. We got kids together, and whatever that comes with, we won't. As a man, we won't take care of that. All that extra shit gotta go.
Actually, bro, it can be, because that's what causes conflict, bro. Ain't no going back trying this, and ain't even and not even just sleep on the person. It ain't like, it has to be a clear boundary. Even like the no flirting, no babe, boo. No little side, none of that, bro. Everything that's it. Once it was point, like from the first time when I made it clear that Yvonne was my girl at the time, I was like, I created that boundary and I remain consistent with that. And I think that consistency was what helped us eventually get to a point that we all, start to all get along, because them like, well, shit, I always go back and fuck with my wife, the mother of my child, or I could go, or I could flirt with her or whatever. Nah, it was just always about, my daughter. Anything about my daughter, you could talk about. Anything outside of that, can't talk about.
Oh, dang. That's what's up, man. I respect you even more, man. You my brother, but I respect you even more hearing the story, man. And then you and Yvonne, y'all kicking it off, and then you end up going to jail, losing things, and life get very dark for you, bro. What happened?
Man, so building that remarkable is tough, bro. It was, building business, and the thing that I'm telling you, this sounds good when you celebrating, like, oh, now I'm quitting my job or retiring. It sounds good. Everybody's celebrating post you, but you don't realize I just lost the whole income, and I'm not, and then everything is great. But what happens when it starts slowing down? So in 2017, the company faced some financial troubles, and now the money ain't coming in. Now I'm starting to struggle. Now I'm starting to drink a lot. Now Yvonne gets pregnant, and at 8 months in, we lose the baby to a stillbirth. Like, she had to deliver the baby, because it's not even alive. You know what I'm saying? And all these things have to happen. I'm drinking a lot. I already had my first DWI from my party days, and then I end up getting 2 more. So I ended up total of 3 DWIs. 3 DWIs. I'm not getting paid from the company. My license is suspended. I'm trying to fight this dialogue, saying I'm gonna go to jail. First they said 2 years, they brought on the 1 year, and they brought in 60 days. And I'm just going through all this at the same time. But it was like some of the darkest. I remember literally getting to a gas station, and I have a credit card with $5 on it, like just hoping that it goes over. Like, I remember these days. I remember having, moving, when I was doing good in network marketing, moving my mom's and my family, immediate family, out to Connecticut, and having to move back into 2 apartment buildings, and then want to go and putting a vlog bed behind my mom's couch that I bought her. Like, I remember going all the way back. Like, people they don't see that. They don't understand how that, like, how hard it is to keep going when you thought you had everything going, and it's like it almost gets taken away from you, and it happens like out of nowhere. 'Cause that's how I felt. Like in 2017, I had no idea what was going on, and we get this call from the company. It's like, oh, the company, we started hearing little rumors like, oh, the company's like, y'all have money problems, but we like, no, we're not. We almost did a building last year. Like, I'm thinking, we set. Remember, I left my job for this.
Yeah.
Like, then we found out that, they have a meeting with all the people at the top of the company, and I was in the top 3 levels. And he was like, listen, we ain't gonna be able to pay y'all. Yeah, like we ain't gonna be able to pay y'all. So
We not gonna, like, just like that. We not gonna be able to pay you. Like, them, whatever y'all made, them checks, it's over with.
and don't tell the lower levels. We want to protect them because y'all mature enough pretty much to handle this. So we had to make a decision out there when a lot of people were leaving the company, and I decided to stay.
I'm not paying you, and you decided to stay.
We work hard.
What the hell were you thinking about? One day it's gonna turn around.
That's what they built the dream. We gonna build, but that's what they was doing. They did this.
They were selling you.
It was like, oh yeah, we gonna let them bring us back the money. Hopefully they can bring us back. If they keep on selling and keep selling, we can dig our way up. Oh God! And we did that. We thought we got to that point, but right before the pandemics hit, it was just too much. The company was pretty much folding, and that's at that point, I was forced to leave, right? But once again, it's like I was talking to people, and I kept saying like the church song, I don't want to be, but I gotta go now. But it's true, man. It's like sometimes like, we keep holding on to something that's just not, it's not serving us anymore. Like, we try to stay, whether it's relationships, whether it's jobs, whether it's businesses. We stay committed to things that's not complementing where we want to go. And I gave an example when I spoke at this event, and I said that something amazing happens when you take a walk with somebody. Even you adjust to their pace, so they adjust to yours. Right? You got to ask yourself, whose pace are you adjusting to? Right? And a lot of times we adjust our pace, we slow ourselves down to accommodate every other circumstance, every other person in our life, but they're really pulling us back. That's a surprise. And that's what it was. That company, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I was on a progression. And then when he started to have troubles, it was like, oh, slow down, stay with us here. And now I'm staying here. And now I'm staying here serving something that's not serving me. And that's why I went through all those challenges. I went through all the problems. And we have to realize that, a lot of times when we're on a journey, when we're trying to create success, we start looking at all these other people as the opponents. Like, so if I'm doing Airbnb and you're doing courier, like, oh man, he's doing better than me. And oh, look at her, she's doing this, she's doing better. Oh, he's in Airbnb and he's doing this. And we're looking at that. And sometimes that's not the threat. The threat is the person, the people, the company, the relationship that's literally walking right beside you, that's forces you to adjust down to their pace. We're looking everywhere else, so sometimes the enemy's right next to you, just forcing you to slow down. And that's why we miss it, because it's so close. And that's what I had to start to see that, I thought that, and that's that I had to have faith. And I remember one day literally walking to my kid's bathroom. This was a turning point for me. I walked to my kid's bathroom. We had a 2-bedroom apartment, 2-bathroom. I walked to my kid's bathroom, and I was literally crying, looking in the mirror, bro. Because I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Why I have nothing, bro. Like, I have nothing. I'm done. I'm nothing. I don't know what I would have do. I've never done anything as an entrepreneur outside of network marketing. It's like, I can't go back to work. It's during the pandemic. Like, I literally, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just like, God, show me. And that's when eventually, like, within the next few months, I introduced to Airbnb. Like, that was the day I made the decision. I was going to figure something out, bro. So I got to figure something out because I've learned.
So this is after the jail time. The drinking, I don't got my license. I can't really move around like that. Good thing you in New York because they got train systems, right? And you this is how you bring yourself out of there, Airbnb.
Yep. Well, not yeah, kind of. At the time, I didn't think Airbnb was going to bring me out of it, which is the crazy thing. I thought, based on what I heard about Airbnb, I thought it was going to be the thing that gave me something until I figured out what was next for me. I didn't think it was going to be a thing to bring me out, like in my head, I'm thinking like I could make like $500 per month per unit. So I'm like, cool. If I got like 4 units, man, like $2,000, I can help pay some bills. And then at some point, I'm going to figure something else. I didn't think.
But how are you at your lowest and thinking, I'm going to do this Airbnb? You don't think like real estate, dang, it take this money, it take that. Like, it's real estate, it sounds like it take a whole lot of money.
Right. Exactly. This is exactly what I thought until my friend. So when I heard about Air, so right before I learned about Airbnb, I called one of my boys who actually lives out here in Maryland, and he was a serial entrepreneur. Dude was like selling toys on Amazon, had ice cream trucks, car businesses, like everything. So I called up. I ended up flying to LA. We ended up talking. He was talking about like real estate and flipping homes and all this stuff. And he's on some more Airbnb. And he said, did you know that you can, with Airbnb, you don't have to own a property to list to make money? That's all I need to hear, bro. He said you start at low cost and get into profit immediately. Those two things. Because before then, I'm thinking real estate.
Like, how you gonna start at low cost?
Yeah, so it don't cost a lot of money. Like he basically saying like my first Airbnb, we spent just under $5,500 to get full, like the furniture, first month rent, everything get up right. So imagine we fully.
So how you get $5,500, bro?
The pandemic, what was it, like the PPP loans and all that stuff? I had a loan, so I had $16,000. 16. I had $16,000, bro.
And then you got some free room with that.
Yeah, so I had $16,000. I was spending some of the money like an idiot, of course. And then I found out about Airbnb, and then we figured out about how much it was going to cost, whatever. And then I told my wife, like, yo, we just about to spend everything. I'm taking every dollar off the savings account. 16,000, or it went down a little bit, and we had enough to get 2 Airbnbs, $5,500 each.
And she was on board.
Yeah. And she was nervous at first.
She was just like, whatever.
Yeah, but that was
like, I believe in you.
Yeah, my wife always been like that, bro. Like my wife is like, she's like almost insane, bro. She has an insane belief in me, like a insane belief in like whatever I say, she believed that shit gonna happen. Now she also is the person that's a little more reserved, where, oh, you sure you want to do something? I'm like, fuck, like I already know it feels like I get broke. You know what I'm saying?
What's the worst thing happened?
Be broke, stay broke, but we gotta try something.
So I struggled my entire life. I know that like I'm willing to risk every dollar. So when I said let's get 2, she was like, you sure? I was like, no, every dollar. Like I don't care. It was like down like 12,000. I took every dollar between flights. I'm going there, figuring it out that at the beginning and launching 2 Airbnbs.
So I need you to walk me through this though, JD, because there's some people out here that may get their tax return that may have that type of money, right? Like, and the only thing that they do year after year is spend it. You know what I mean? Like, you to go from broke to 2. Some people have been like, nah, I'ma just do 1. Had this in the cup. How'd you do that, bro? What did you do?
Bro, I have an insane faith in one that it's gonna work out. And
No, I get that. I get the faith and God is walking with you, but I need the tactics. What did you do, bro?
So I mean, it was real simple. All I did was I found the area that people had to try to, because that's really the thing is any kind of real estate is just about location. And one of the places that I saw that was really popular with Airbnb, and we would just Google this, and I was like, what are the top cities to do Airbnb? Like, it's that stuff was sometimes people overcomplicate it. And Nashville is one of those places. So Nashville is like the second Vegas. It is. And the thing about this property in Nashville, we got our first Airbnbs it was an Airbnb friendly building. And Airbnb friendly buildings are buildings that actually have a partnership with Airbnb. So instead of sneaking and having to go behind their back, they welcome it. The only thing is you got to pay them a percentage. So we had to pay them 25%. So people said we were crazy because they're like, why would you pay the building 25% when you go find another building, you don't have to pay nothing? But we understood that the area was booming. So I'm like, basically in my head, like, I don't have to worry about going behind the building's back. I don't have to worry about getting commission. They gonna let me do Airbnb. I just give them 25%. I'm in. So we took 5,000, right? The rent of 1,800 to pay our first month rent.
Okay.
The furniture is going to cost you around $2,500 to $3,000, like to get everything.
Millionaire furniture. You gotta get furniture from
Amazon, Wayfair.
I be telling people Amazon be popping. People don't believe. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I just bought another crib. And I don't know what's going on with me. I done bought so many goddamn cribs, but I was like, y'all, I'm about to furnish it through Amazon.
Yeah. We get 98%. We get everything we could possibly get from Amazon, and then anything else we'll get from other places like Wayfair, Walmart. But look, first, all I think
so now it was cheap and it came fast. Okay.
So you figure, you got 1,800. You got like just under 3,000. So figure we got like another good like 700 left. And then it's just like the little extra things going to Ross and buying little pictures and stuff.
Okay.
You know, so you order all your furniture from and the thing is the furniture these days is a lot easier. It's always easy to assemble. It comes with all the tools. So we just we flew down to Nashville. We put everything together. We went to Ross and bought like the little pictures to put over the couch, put it here, just little stuff, and you put it up. We wasn't overthinking, bro. We just listed on Airbnb. And the thing I love about Airbnb is that you don't have to find the guest. A lot of people think that you got to find people to stay, but no, you don't find them. Airbnb has millions of people they send to live at your property every day. So once we listed it, we listed these 2 properties. We went to lunch. No, we hears ding, 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 ding. Bookings.
Instantly.
Yeah. Our first.
You hold on. You set it. You hit that button on that computer,
Like go.
and then all right, we're gonna go to lunch. As soon as you get that lunch,
Hey, it's a booking.
Wow. Bro, we made we was trying to get to 10K where we got over $8,000 in bookings in our first 24 hours. Wow. I ain't had to see nothing else for.
You said
this is what I've been looking for the whole time.
Yo, the first thing that I saw that I felt like it's really possible for me to go out there and win. I can really do this shit, and it's legal, and it makes sense, and it's fun, and it's easy, bro. When I saw that first 24 hours, and I said, this is it. This is the thing right here.
That's crazy because you don't have to be here anymore. Now you figured it out, like really making more and working less.
It's so simple, and that's what people like overthink about Airbnb. Airbnb takes about less than 10 minutes a day to do. Less than 10 minutes. It don't matter what stuff, but Airbnb is not gonna be your main focus. It is not. It's not enough to do.
Right.
So Airbnb will be the thing like you get it up, you get it rolling, and if you want to get local units, you just do the same thing over and over. But it's not something that you're gonna be like, this is my whole focus. It's just not enough stuff. Once you automate it, it's not. You're going to set codes for your guests to get in and then answering questions. Guests usually have questions. That's right. Outside, you're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine going from being broke, going to school, working jobs, network marketing, party world, and also you give them so much time, so much energy, and then you get something that you put some furniture in, which is fun, like design. Oh wow, I need this color.
Especially with life, she probably was like, "Shit, baby, I do this. I do this."
But imagine doing that. It's fun, and then you list it, and then literally you just start getting bookings, and you're getting paid, and you're not doing nothing but follow somebody's bookings probably. Oh, give me your emails to set your codes. And here's the thing that happened, because people look at my relationship and they think it's like the greatest relationship. Nah, we have many battles, bro. Many times we're fighting. People ain't even know the many battles that we've had. And at the time we started Airbnb, like we was on the verge of be like, yo, let's just call it quits. Before Airbnb, I did network marketing. She had her own hair company. We always had our things on, we never ran anything together. When we got started Airbnb, I said, yo, let's do this together. And bro, that was the greatest thing we could have ever. That saved our entire relationship. Our marriage is the only reason we have kids. It's the only reason we are married today is because we started Airbnb business together. Because when that happened, bro, I got to see a part I've never saw. I got to see the motivated side. I got to see the business side of her. I got to see her and her element designing these Airbnbs and controlling shit. And when I'm being nice and being soft and I don't want to fire shit, she's like, no, they need to be fired. And I got to see that shit is attractive, bro. That shit started turning me on.
Yeah, that shit was sexy. JD was over there like, hey, you better have another one.
And she started seeing side of me. Now she started to understand me. Now when in network marketing, I gotta go away. I'm traveling. I'm going away for days. I'm up late nights. I'm traveling. And back of her head, she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? It's 3 a.m. He been talking about you out on the business." Like she don't understand. But now she see him like, I had a little front. Now she understands. It's like it ain't like I thought. Like, oh, what's she gonna do? Like, all right, cool. Going into that, I'm gonna handle this. That's at the house. You do this and you that. Like when you start doing a business together, bro. There was like that brought us together because now we both start to see the strengths in each other, and it started to become like an attractive thing. And imagine having now lunches ain't like a battle where we talk about business and we having lunch, bro. And it just became like a breath of fresh air, bro. It was like a new relationship, like a brand new relationship.
Y'all had a different phase.
Yeah, oh man, we it's like business, bro. We passed that phase where it's like, we just trying to have that breakthrough, finally breakthrough in business, and that's how in our relationship, bro.
Damn.
Let's have a relationship with that. When we did that and start Airbnb, then we started to see it. So like me now, I can see like all the stuff that she did. She still get on my nerves. In fact, like right now, getting on my nerves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they never gonna stop, right?
You know what I'm saying? It's probably getting, but it is something like it. You know, sometimes like if you got that business, regardless of what business it is, you know, sometimes your best asset is right next to you. You don't even know it. That's crazy because I also said that the person right next to you can be the person forcing to slow down, but the person right next to you could be your best asset too. When you figure
That means you got to do an audit you got to do an audit. You got to know, like, hey, listen, if you slowing me down or you speed me up, like, what's going on?
the one that slow you down, I go. The one that speed you up. That's what you put your energy to, bro. It just is what it is. It's in the far life. People don't want to make those kind of decisions, but it is what it is, bro. And then I made those decisions, but that's when my life started to really like explore. You know, I started getting better at that. I started getting better at ordering people. It wasn't just my partner, bro. Everybody in my life. Everybody is ordering.
And then it's so crazy because y'all even took it even further. You and wifey said, you know what? We've been through some dark shit. We's on the verge of breaking up and damn on the verge of homeless. My husband been in there crying, can't provide for his family. We turned this shit around with Airbnb. And then y'all doing the greatest thing that a human could ever do is serve our people. You said, listen, I'm gonna go back and serve my community. I'm gonna teach y'all this shit.
And you know what's crazy? I didn't want to. When I started making money with Airbnb, I loved it because I did network marketing for 7 years prior to that. Now I don't know if you know about network marketing, but every day I'm doing meetings. Every day I'm trying to convince somebody that they deserve to have more in life. Like I believe more in them and they believe in themselves. And it's like so much energy trying to get people to like fight for their dreams. You know what I'm saying? So when I get in Airbnb, I'm like, man, it's cool. I ain't got to convince nobody. I ain't got to motivate nobody. I'm just making money.
Right.
And I did that for a few months. And I remember one day, I'll never forget it, bro. I'm laying in the bed, I'm like this on the phone. Yvonne laying right next to her. She started doing reboots. You know what I'm saying?
She was up there corner.
Like this. So she found, what you doing? I'm like, I'm starting to make tour shit. It's like 4 a.m, bro. I got up at 9 a.m. I put it on Instagram. I posted, starting an Airbnb mentorship, first 10 people $1,000. I ain't had no videos. I ain't know nothing about no platforms. And within a few hours, I had 10 people paying me $1,000. I put their ass all in a WhatsApp group. Nothing. I said, hey, I'm gonna write y'all a message tomorrow. And I got up there, I wrote a message. I said, hey, y'all, listen, one day we gonna have all these videos and we gonna be taking trips together, not just casting a vision, bro. And for me, here's why I felt like I started. I felt like God was like, man, you done try all these things. I done see you cry. I done worked through so much. And you mean tell me I finally delivered to you, you're not gonna share with nobody? Like you just gonna be selfish. Yeah. I just thought that like it was a call on me. I didn't want to do it, bro. I did not want to do it. And I started like it was a calling on me. And then once I created the group and I saw the value that people was getting, bro, there's no better feeling. And I can talk, I always talked about this from my family perspective, but it's no better feeling than you pouring into somebody or giving somebody access to something or sharing something with somebody and they really go out there and they change their situation. Bro, it could change their situation to be I've seen people make $1,100 a month and their life has changed so much for that extra $1,100 a month, bro. I watched a girl, I didn't even know what this girl was. She came to one of my free events that I did at a bowling alley. She had her kids. Everybody looked at her like she weird. Like, why she brought her kids here? Right. Nobody know what the hell she going through. I didn't know what she was going through, but she said I said so. Later on, she gets on the call and she started to give this testimony. She starts to break down crying. I'm thinking, that's the girl crying. Like, what's going on? Right. She said, you remember that day that she did the bowling event? She said, I was just so overwhelmed. My boyfriend, he had left me and the kids, and we had a 5-bedroom apartment home that we were renting. I couldn't afford to rent. I was struggling, and I just needed to get out for the day. And I saw he was doing this event, and I had no babysitter. I just showed my kids. And you said to me, "Why don't you just start the Airbnb in your own home that you already have?" I didn't even remember that, bro. She said, "Well, I rented out the other 4 rooms that I had, and I started making money. And then I took me and my kids out of the bedroom, and I put us in the living room, and I rented out the 5th room. And she started making $4,000 a month. Ended up going to 2 more properties and doing the same thing, bro. Stories like that, bro. Like when I started, that's when I started like, yo, this is bigger. This is bigger than making a few dollars. And that's my always thing, you know, with my purpose. Like they would say, oh, you should charge this, you do that. I'm like, bro, it's not aligned with it's not aligned with my purpose and the reason that I did it for. Where I did it for people that was like me. I was just like trying to figure it out, bro. I've always been a good person. I've always been a hard worker. I've always, you know, it was something out there for me. I just didn't know what it was. And when I finally figured out Airbnb, I finally found something that was possible. So when I share with people, I look for those people, like the people that's like, man, I don't got it all, bro. Like, I don't got $12,000 to do this or $13,000 to, but I could probably save up $6,000. That's why I do it for, bro. Because I'm looking for that person that's like that person, and it's just enough to me. It's just enough to force you to make a sacrifice, right? But it's also enough to where you see it's possible. I love that. I love that right there, because somebody could really start Airbnb with like 5, and you could do it a little cheaper. You know, if you buy stuff on Facebook Marketplace and, you know, get good deals and stuff. But realistically, bro, you can have like $5,000 to $8,000. You know, you could confidently go get new furniture and get into an apartment and be able to afford everything, right? But to me, a person that's like working, living check and check, and they hearing, really with $6,000 I could possibly, all right, so tax time if I get $4,000, if I save with $500, it's possible, bro. But it's still big enough for them to have to make a decision. And that's that line where I feel like that's where they go out there. They really, you know, like when I see people make that sacrifice and they make that commitment and they know it's possible, I know they going with, bro. I know, because I'm like, listen, you ain't gonna have nobody. I was like, listen, if you show up for you, I'm gonna show up for you bigger.
That's a fact. I mean, I see it, bro. I was like, dang, bro, they on yachts. He taking his people around the country, different cities, New York, Vegas, Miami. Y'all having experiences, man, and it's so dope. You know, when I see those testimonials and I see people smiling, bro, because their life has changed, right? Like they went all in. And the biggest thing is you can't really charge cheap because people don't appreciate it. It's like, if I do, damn if I don't. And you that type of person that's like, no, I don't want you to treat it like that. I want you to execute on it. I want you to go ahead and get your property. I want you to go ahead and get your cash flow. I want you to go ahead and get your freedom. This is why I show up for you. You know what I'm saying? This is why I show up. It ain't for nothing else but to change your life. And guess what? You get to do it for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like the rest of your life, you get to enjoy that, man. So it's just super dope, bro.
So dope, man. I got to a point in my life. You said, Jay, 1 to 10, where you are, I say 11, because I told my wife this probably been about like 2 months ago, and I don't even know what we was talking about. And I said, I'm at a point where I just don't need anything else. I said, pretty much everything I wanted to do, I'm doing it. I said, everything I do is for y'all, the kids, you. I actually try to enjoy our life. So I get the most fulfillment out of doing things for my family and just seeing them happy and seeing them experience things. And like right now, bro, like literally as we speak, as I'm here, my wife FaceTime me, and they probably start digging out to do the pool. We're doing the whole pool and the basketball court. And I told my wife like a few days, I said, yo, this is low key, like a childhood dream. Like having a pool and at my house, we're building a pool. Like, I didn't even call me. We building a whole pool and a basketball court. I had my wife pick out, you know, where she want to have the outdoor kitchen and here, and with like how we run the basketball court and all this stuff, and the theater, and I do it. I'm like, man, like I've never had none of this stuff. I fly my mother again all the time, and every vacation, you know, I'm flying her. I'm like, you know, and I don't even know why she's still asking me at this point. But I'm like, oh yeah, because I don't know if I said, Ma, you ain't really got to worry about that. But man, it's like it's no better joy than just really like doing things for people that you love. Like for me, like all this stuff, man, honestly, like, you know, I like jewelry and stuff. I'll do stuff like that, but I don't care too much about a lot of this shit, to be honest. You know, I do it more to inspire people. You know, but man, it's not better, no better feeling than being to help people, bro.
Well, that's super dope. One man that flexed all me as some boy. He said, listen, I got the pool in there. You know what I mean? I'm like the fresh Prince of Pebble there. And you had a pool house. I think you said the basketball court.
So you got the basketball court, the pool.
Got the building where you rest. Let me hold something, man, before you hit him out of here.
So they call me Big Daeron.
Man. Listen, man. It was super dope chatting with you today, bro. I'm super proud of you. But more important, it's not because of what you have, but it's because you are living proof and giving back. And you done been there. You done been down on your last. You done been about the crack. You done been about the going to a street game that you ain't nothing about. You been at that point, bro, and to dig yourself out of it. People need to hear it, bro. So you definitely let them improve. Before we get out of here, bro, let them know where they can tap in, because some people right now that's probably like, I gotta get with JD.
I really, it's just Instagram probably the easiest way. And that's at the J Dinkins. That's TheJDinkins. I'm always doing, I'm always posting content. You'll see me posting with my family. You'll see me posting funny stuff. You'll see me posting stuff about Airbnb. I'm always doing free stuff. So, man, I think that'll just be the easiest way and the best way for people to tap in, because I think it's a way that people get to know me. You know what I'm saying? They get to see who I am as a person, and see, like, you know what, man, this is a cool dude. It's a dope brother that knows what he's doing, that's been through what I've been through, and that's really, living to really impact other people.
Definitely, man. Y'all gotta get with my brother JD, man. And I met him at an event. They only realized, like, in a room, you gotta do something different. Get around your tribe. Listen, my family, they love me, they support me, but at some point they no longer serve me. So I had to go out and get in an environment where people can now serve me at a higher level and I connect with. So that's how I met my brother JD, man. Listen, y'all, follow him, tap in. If you need another income stream, he's going to help you and he's going to get you right. All right. Listen, y'all. Another episode of the Letter of Proof podcast, man, where we bring real people, real transformation, real testimonial, and y'all can hear from their mouth, y'all. It's the Letter of Proof podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Let's get it.